Dispatch all biters. My quest to free the country of zombies. By Mystic Alchemist. Copyright 2020 Mystic Alchemist. All rights reserved. Written in Australian English. This book is a work of fiction. Names, characters, places and incidents are either a product of the author's imagination or are used fictitiously. Any resemblance to actual people living or dead, events or locales is purely coincidental. Chapter 13. Jolly Pirates. Simon Town. Grain capital of the West. It had been an easy trip, the three of us side by side on the bench seat. I slowed as we passed the town sign looking for trouble ahead and saw none. Instead, the sign of a major food chain ahead on the left became my destination. It's huge, Geraldine said as the spacious parking lot came into sight, many vehicles already parked there. It will be full of undead, I said. But those cars might have good supplies, Nigel said, me thinking of another navigator unit and then chips for Geraldine. Our old farm truck blended in amongst the others, and when I stopped the motor, we could hear the moaners moaning before we came any closer. While Nigel hobbled around close to our truck, Geraldine and me went from car to car. We had one surprise. In one car was a small moaner strapped into a child seat in the back. It was hardly moaning, more breathing hard and dribbling. Even the brave one turned around while I stuck it with my folding knife. We did find one cache of shopping bags, and we took all them back to our truck to sort later. Several times we found half-eaten bags of chips and opened bottles of drink, but we left them. No navigator, but I did find a map book that could be useful. Nigel had been sorting the shopping bags and put out items for a grand meal, including a large can of fruit salad for dessert. I want to find a drug shop to get some things for your wound, I said as we ate our can lunch using cracker biscuits to help scoop out the contents. Some cream-filled ones saved to have with the fruit. We set off slowly driving around the town looking what else we could use. I did see several drug shops, but Geraldine yelled to stop at one in particular. Clothing, she said. 2 doors away from the chemist. Maybe we did need a change of clothes, we hadn't managed to wash or change them for a while and even I noticed they stunk. Business first, we needed antibiotics for both our wounds. Our truck parked near and blending in with the town, apart from the big gun lying in the tray, we both helped Nigel to walk to the drug shop door. Another automatic door that needed quite a pull to open, but no undead inside, only signs where they'd been removed. Antibiotics, I said pointing to the back, but the others seemed more interested in a display of walking aids, Geraldine grabbing a crutch and bringing it to Nigel. I kept on with the important things, going behind the counter and searching for some sign of where the antibiotics were kept. Everything was stored alphabetically, and that was no real help, so I started at A and began reading the packets and bottles one by one. When I next glanced at the others, they were both working at adjusting the length of a metal crutch, one of those that you used under your shoulder. Amoxicillin. That was one. I took all the boxes and kept on reading. Avast ye landlubbers. I'll keelhaul all your scurvy hearts and make you walk the plank. I turned to see Nigel practicing using the crutch and Geraldine wearing a black eye patch pretending to be a pirate. Back to work for me. Kefalexi. All that added to my store. When I looked back, they both had found bright-colored sun hats and were parading around like in a school play. Doxycycline. Would that be enough? There's a big bottle of water here, Nigel said in my direction, but you'll need to carry it. I considered my haul enough and came to look at the water. It was a spare bottle for a water fountain. I could see where the others had been trying it, but the spare bottle was big. You hold my drugs and I'll do the water, I said. Geraldine was still wearing the eye patch when I got the water settled into the tray of the truck, the drugs in the cab, now for new clothing. Men, women and children's. The shop was exactly what we wanted and we all went to search what we thought best. No need to bother with the changing booths, we all changed where we were, dropping our old on the floor. Maybe Mom had been right, it did feel good to finally have fresh underwear, and I definitely noticed the stink from my socks when I peeled them off after a couple of days' wear. A hot shower would have gone down a treat, but that would have to wait. When I caught up with Nigel, he was looking very smart, farm look replaced with executive about town. He even had a bright yellow tie. "That's too flash for splatting undead," I said, but he just shrugged. Geraldine stayed with her country tomboy look, dark brown top and bluey black pants. "I need to blend into the background," she said, her eye patch slipped up her forehead so she could see better. We were back with the truck, settling our new clothes into the seat when I saw it coming. One of those cream trucks with the machine gun up the back. "Pretend to be dead," I said, seeing no other course of action. They were just too close. Then I saw the vehicle behind. Cream again, but like a large SUV, and those inside weren't dressed in black. They drove past without a glance to us, our tatty old farm truck not good enough to bother with, but I saw them. Sitting in the back seat, making no effort to disguise themselves, were a pair of foreigners. People from the east. Those who were supposed to be invading us, except they had already. One of the traitors driving them. "We should kill them," Nigel spat. He'd seen too. "We've only got the big gun out back," Geraldine the Brave said. "Help me get in the back and work it, and the axe can drive," Nigel said. "Drive right up to them and we'll blast the lot of them." I didn't say anything. I was fully with them, helping Nigel get out and into the tray of the old truck, and him and Geraldine got the big machine gun up and got it sitting over the side of the tray, letting them sit down to work the trigger and aim. All I had to do was drive so our enemy was on the driver's side. A final nod and I got into the cab ready to attack. I set off in the same direction the two vehicles had gone, cautious at corners to see where they were, but they were not hard to find, both vehicles in a line near the opening of that big shop we'd checked before, me speeding up when I saw and directing us as close as I could before they had a chance to realize what was coming. Rat-a-tat, rat-a-tat. The noise not stopping as I drove, trying to keep a clear space between these two enemy vehicles as I kept moving to make us a hard target for them. There were holes appearing in that SUV and I saw no one making for their machine gun on the gun truck. As far as I could tell, there were no one shooting back up at us either. Time to stop and check. The gun behind me had stopped too, and without the engine noise I could hear Geraldine saying she was sure we'd got all them, even the black ones. I wasn't so sure of that, maybe they were only stunned after being thumped by their body armor. "We'll cover while you look," Nigel said. Looks like it was up to me with pistol and axe to check. The black uniforms were my worry, so I made toward the gun truck first. One down near the front of the truck and plenty of blood around him, so maybe these bullets were big enough to get through their armor. Another one alongside the SUV. Alive and moaning. I used my new axe. There were 4 bodies inside the SUV. No armor there, and the vehicle side turned into a sieve. Nothing could have lived inside that. Now it was back to the gun truck to take their gun and spare ammunition. Geraldine came when she saw what I was doing, and so now we had 2 big guns and 3 heavy metal boxes of ammunition. "They didn't expect us to be in that old truck," I said as we drove out of town. I wanted to make some miles before they sent out a search party for those foreigners. "We've got a gun each," Geraldine said, grinning, the eye patch still on her forehead, "and we should name our pirate boat the Jolly Bertha," Nigel said. "That's a good name for an old truck like this." "At the speed we leave trucks, we'll run out of names quickly," I said. "We should name us instead," Geraldine said, "Jolly Brave, Mechanic and Axe." "How come your name comes first?" Nigel said, laughing. "Girls first." "That's a good enough reason," I said. "I don't mind being last." While the other 2 practiced their pirate voices, I was looking for snacks, maybe a small convenience shop where we could pause a moment and plan the rest of our day. I reversed into the next one I found, stopping alongside 2 other cars. "You're getting good going back, my hearty," Nigel said when I stopped without needing any of his help. "Back so they can't see our guns," I said, then added, "shiver me timbers." We all laughed. There didn't seem to be a suitable back door, so we went in the front. No undead inside, but again signs where they'd been killed. Geraldine in charge of finding chips. Nigel get chocolates and I'll get drinks, I said as I made for the storeroom in search of a new fire axe. A couple of screwdrivers but no axe. Nigel had found enough chocolate to feed us for a month and Geraldine was busy making trips with boxes of chips to line in the back of our truck. I did bring some boxes of drinks in cans and bottles and also biscuits and packets of sweets. Enough sugar to keep us moving for days. I stayed stopped while I tried to read the map, the others more interested in deciding what flavor chips to start first. Everglade was closer than I dared hope. Sure, a lot of towns between and the road seemed to wander around a bit, but it was close. Maybe tonight. When I told the others, Nigel said, "Haul the main brace and shiver me timbers." Geraldine laughed and I started the motor. With no reason now to stop other than rest breaks, I kept the truck moving. We did see a cream truck approaching, but they didn't look hard at our old truck well off the roadway. Two smaller towns, but no reason to stop, and then the highway signs started mentioning Everglade and the distances were reducing. "We'll get there in a couple of hours," Nigel said when we stopped a bit after noon. "He's speeding to reunite with his princess," Geraldine chanted. "I've never seen her before," I said. "But you love her," Geraldine the Brave said. "You'll be snuggling and won't want us anymore." Of course she was right in one way. I'd thought through the possible situations and that one was the one I wanted to be real. "I'll always need you," I said. "Keel haul me if that isn't true." Geraldine and Nigel took over navigation, both of them turning the map all different ways as they tried to offer directions. Fortunately the highway signs were clear.